Hello there friends, it's good to see you again. How are you doing? I hope everything is well. This painting was so much fun to make because I got to try out new materials and new techniques that I never did before, and in this video I'd like to share my experience with you. The first material I use is masking fluid, which is nothing new, I use it all the time, you've seen it before, but what is super cool is what I'm gonna do after I'm done masking all the parts that I need to leave white. For this painting I want the character to be very light, have very pale colors, but the background is dark, like kind of a contrast, so that's why I'm masking the character, so I don't get the dark color on it, and I won't have to, deal with this later when I paint the character herself. I used two colors for the background. Daniel Smith Indigo, which is probably my absolute favorite paint out of my entire collection, and Amethyst, which is just kind of a warm purple. But what's really cool about the Amethyst pigment is that it has a very light shimmer to it. I squeeze a little bit of paint from each color onto my palette, and I mix a little drop of Oxgall. Oxgall breaks the surface tension of the water, and that allows the paint to mix better and just flow into each other better than if you used water alone. I know this material is sometimes used to paint on fabric, but what I'm gonna use it for is just to make a very smooth gradient between the two colors. The process didn't go as well as I'd like it to, but I don't think it's the fault of the materials. I think my main problem here was my inexperience with gradients. I don't often do them, and also my brush is way too small for the paper I was using. I already ordered a bigger brush, like a really wide flat brush, just for this purpose of making very nice smooth backgrounds, but I didn't have it at the time, so kind of turned out a little patchy, but after a few rounds, a few layers, it turned out very smooth. Working with Oxgall was very comfortable. I felt like the paint flowed so nicely. It really obeyed my commands, I guess. It really obeyed me, and it was just a very nice experience. I didn't mask my character's hair, and that's because I wanted it to sort of mix with the background and bring it out with shading. I saw a lot of artists do that when they just cover their entire picture just one color, like a pale background, and then they bring out the different elements with shading or just add different colors. I'm not sure how to do that yet. That's something I will have to try out. But here you can kind of see my first attempt. I just completely ignored the hair. I painted the background as if it's not there, and my intention is to bring it out with shades of darker blue, darker purple, and black. Once the background is all nice and dry, I carefully remove the masking fluid from the girl's face and start mixing her skin color. I heard it somewhere that leaving masking fluid on your paper for a long period of time is a terrible idea, that it will tear the paper later when you remove it, that will just stick to it forever. But I sort of did that in some areas. I'm sorry, forgive me for the sin. I was so terrified that I ruined my entire painting by just not removing the masking fluid in time, but everything turned out fine. I will avoid doing that in the future though, and so should you. It is terrifying. The emotion I wanted to express in this painting is sadness mixed with innocence. I wanted this girl to look as if she was crying, so I painted her cheeks red and added a little bit of red around her eyes. I'll try to explain my idea behind this painting as clearly as I can, but I believe I will struggle, so please just bear with me. I wanted to express here a feeling that I sometimes get, which is kind of like, I want to give away my heart, I don't want it anymore. Kind of like that. When I say it this way, it sounds extremely emo and dramatic, but I bet every single one of you at some point felt this way. When you just feel like your love for someone, for the world, for whatever, hurts you a lot. And you just have this desire to not feel, to just be a numb person, kind of a shell, without your heart, because it gives you so much pain. At first, the first image that popped into my mind when thinking about this concept was very gruesome, like bloody and painful, and I originally wanted to paint that, and who knows, maybe I'll actually get to this image. But over time, I thought that maybe it will be better to show a more childish side of this feeling, to show like the heart, the love, as something more innocent, something that most people don't want to hurt, and that will, you know, bring out that pain more. I don't know, that's just how I see it. Often when I talk to my therapist about my needs of love and acceptance, I call it the inner child, as if it's that little child in me who just really wants approval and really wants a hug, and it's the adult in me who is more of a independent fighting spirit. And I thought that maybe portraying like this character more childish and more innocent will just be more relevant to my case, because where my heart is it's that, like, the inner child. I'm not sure if this explanation is clear enough, but I will not expand more on it because that's a lot to unpack and I have more paint to show you. For the girl's dress, I used Daniel Smith Lavender and Wisteria paint. And I am 100% sure you've seen me use them before, because I've had them for a while, but I always mix them with other colors, and this time I actually let them shine. I start with the cold pigment lavender at the bottom, and then as I move upwards I mix in more and more of the warmer wisteria, until I get to the top where it's just, you know, this pink purple shade. Sort of very similar to the background, just a nice gradient from blue to purple. From there, all I do is just add more layers, more shading, and details. The next super cool paint I want to show you is the Daniel Smith Pearl Scent Shimmer, which is basically just glitter in a tube. You can mix it with your other paint, so they have this very soft pearl shimmer, or you can just add it as a final layer, kind of a detail final touches like I did with this painting. One thing I noticed is that this paint is really slow and hard to reactivate, and I guess it's meant to be used just straight from the tube, so keep that in mind. The final part of the dress is the decoration. I wanted this dress to have white flowers around the collar and on the sleeves and some on the skirt, and I'm gonna do them with Hemi gouache. I actually made a video talking about this set of paints not too long ago, so you should check it out if you're curious. I said in that video that I can already think of several ways in which I can use gouache, and here it is. I take some white paint and mix it with a little bit of light purple, just so it looks like it really belongs on the light purple dress. And for the leaves of the flowers, I'm using light green. Because gouache is opaque, I don't have to worry that the layers underneath will be visible, which makes it a perfect material for adding these little details. There's something really relaxing about painting these flowers, almost therapeutic, and I absolutely love the way they look in the end. They really add so much to the dress. They make it look a bit more real. The last paint I'd like to show off in this video is again from Daniel Smith, Iridescent Sunstone. It's like gold but with a little bit of pink. This one is the newest in my entire collection and I was so excited to try it out. It looks amazing with the color scheme I have for this painting. I used the sunstone color to paint the halo around the girl's head and the heart. It looks amazing, though there's only one issue that I like to complain about. It is a bit too transparent, I think. Clearly this paint needs another paint underneath it to really bring out the beautiful color. So I'm glad I learned that early enough. For this painting I had to do a really thick layer for it to be more or less visible, and that's just a little bit of a waste in my opinion. So next time I use this color I'll definitely do an under painting. I'm pretty sure I said it before that Daniel Smith is my favorite brand, and this video pretty much demonstrates it. Almost every single paint I showed you is from Daniel Smith, and a lot of them are new, so I was super excited to try them out. Daniel Smith is not cheap at all. It's actually one of the most expensive brands I've tried so far, but it's so worth it. It's so easy to use and vibrant and just beautiful. And finally, I use Sakura pens to add some final touches like eyelashes and give her eyebrows and some little strands of hair. This painting was really a great learning experience for me. It was fun, even though the theme wasn't. The process itself was lots of fun, and I'm so glad I tried out all my new paints and learned how to use them. I think the biggest conclusion out of this video is that Daniel Smith should sponsor me in the future. And that's it, I'm done with the painting, and that's the end of the video. I'll probably be going on a little hiatus soon because I'm moving and I have no idea how that will work out, and chances are I'll have so much stuff to deal with that I won't have the time to make videos. So I'm sorry, but I promise I'll be back at some point once everything stabilizes and I know how my schedule looks like. If you wish to stay updated on that part, on my move, I'll probably post a lot about it on Instagram, so you should follow me there. Link is in the description. Also, while you're there, you should check out my Patreon and my Etsy shop where I sell prints and original, and also my TikTok. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay happy, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!